Jack Black is special vocals.
Ralph,
Yes, we're back.
what's up, man?
Oh, just chilling here. What's up with you?
Got some White Russians.
Nice.
Feeling pretty good. He's going out Soberino tonight, so
Yeah.
it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We had a water. I spiked it. So halfway through the episode, he's gonna be passed out. I'm gonna do some fun things to him.
What does that mean? Did we have... No. Don't be silly. It was all hands.
How's that ass feel?
Eventually, those shrooms will kick in.
It's definitely gonna be a dick in your mouth, but not mine, I swear.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, week 9 recap show. Next week's week 10.
Yeah.
Week 9's over. We are over halfway through the year. Been a crazy year. Whatever. Okay, a lot of things for you per use.
Right.
Not just a few, a lot.
Wow.
Let's see what I got here. First thing, Josh Allen. First of all, possible bad injury for him. UCL injury, which for a quarterback is devastating. He could play through it if it's not a complete tear, but it could be 3 to 4 weeks. It could be no time. It could be season ending.
Yeah.
There's 3 options there. I think it's 33, 33, 33.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, and I only have him in a couple leagues, but I have him in one big league where I have high points first place, $1,400 first place thing. I need him.
Yeah.
I have Diggs and him, so it's like, dude,
Yeah.
if he's there, I'm going to win this league. Because I have ETN, I got a bunch of fucking dope players. I
Who's
have
their
Adams
backup,
and Diggs. I don't even know, because it was Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be bad for everyone.
Well, and that's crazy for that division because the division's on fire right now.
Yeah, everyone's good.
The
so
entire fucking.
they won't win the division
What's
without.
everyone's standing like?
It's like, so we have Buffalo 6-2, Jets 6-3, Miami 6-3, New England 5-4.
Dude.
Holy fuck! No one saw that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the Buffalo is the easiest pick ever, and obviously they still are. But if Josh Allen is diminished or hurt or out, if he's out, there's no way to win this division. They don't have that kind of team. I mean, Josh Allen is their team.
Well, yeah. It's
the most important player in my mind.
Because outside of Dick, there's really not even a consistent player on that team.
There's no running game. I feel like, excuse me, that was weird. Andy Reid could win some games with a backup.
Yeah.
I don't think McDermott can.
You know
what I'm saying?
Heat, though, if they just traded for Hines, so imagine if they get the backup.
Yeah.
Hines.
Little catches there.
Yeah.
Caps, you're just a smart guy.
Look what I can do!
Okay, a couple things for you per use. I already said that, sorry. Josh Allen, so I was looking to get an update on his injury because Roto World wasn't giving it to me.
Sure.
So then, the first thing that came up was Josh Allen's girlfriend, who I have seen, but I clicked on it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me to a whole grander point of, we talked about this earlier, of don't give me that look, of these girls, just doing so much and making themselves worse. I'll put some pictures up of before and after. This chick's a dime, man. She's cute, she's sexy, she's hot.
Yeah.
Now she looks like a Kardashian.
Yeah. Just one.
Just looks like a pumpkin.
Yeah, cookie cutter. Yeah.
And I don't understand why they do this. What is it? It's too much, man.
Yeah.
And my comparison was if you have the Brad for a guy, for our bodies, for instance.
Yeah.
If we are Brad Pitt, cut muscular late 90s Brad Pitt, not super muscular, but looks great with his shirt off.
Sure.
Okay. Why do you want to become John Cena? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to pack on 80 pounds of mass. No, dude, you're already in everyone's wheelhouse, right? So these girls want to become Kim Kardashian when they're already dimes.
Yeah.
And you made the great point about the exotic fish tank. These girls are so high maintenance. I was trying to figure out how long their routine is morning and night. Take it on, put it on, and take it off. You're it's like owning an exotic fish tank.
It's
you need all the stuff, right?
Yeah. Change the water, the pebbles, pH level.
Everything's got to be perfect.
The thing that sucks the side of the tank.
I just want a goldfish, a good-looking goldfish.
Yeah.
Dude. Give me that.
A loyal.
Loyal
goldfish.
And not to call Erica a goldfish, but
yeah.
I got a hot goldfish.
We were even thinking that.
I just said it.
Yeah. No, I know. No, that's funny though.
Thanks, man.
It's true. You didn't think of that. No.
I do have a good job.
Yeah, you do nothing.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
I want a goldfish.
Yeah, I do, because they're low maintenance. They're dumb and
Yeah,
okay.
they're pretty.
Jesus.
They're pretty.
They're pretty. Yeah,
but
they're pretty.
We don't need the extra for.
Yeah, they're happy being goldfish.
We don't need the bright
you know?
red coral.
No, and yeah, so Josh Allen's girlfriend, man, holy fuck, like, stop the Botox, stop all the fucking fake tanning, just be you, because you are pretty. We're all pretty. You're pretty on the inside, pretty on the outside, like, you're pretty. Okay, what else do I have here? Moki, my new dog I got.
Yes.
I got him for a year now, but he's super weird. Like, you haven't met him too much, but he's like about a year away from talking. He's so vocal, dude. Like, he's like changing how he talks. Now he's like literally making new sounds I've never heard, like farm animal sounds.
Really?
But he lays in the weirdest spots. Like, I've stepped on him in the bathroom. Like, most dogs have like one spot they lay.
Yeah.
And like this guy, he's always switching it up. Like laying in like dark areas where we walk in from the bar, like outside the tiki bar, like laying in the bathroom. And now he started going in the crevice.
Crevice.
The crevice of the couch.
I'm going in the crevice.
No, Charlie, don't go in the crevice. Charlie, don't go in the crevice.
I'm going in the
Come on,
crevice,
don't go in the
Frank.
crevice. Come on, man. Oh, my God. Yellow.
Heyo, it's Mac. What's up?
Hey-oh. What's up?
Yo, I'm gonna go out and rage. Is Charlie there?
Hey, it's Mac. He wants to go rage.
I don't care. I'm in the crevice.
He's in the crevice.
Shit, he's in the crevice.
I'll come out with you. We'll go out. You and me will go together. We'll have a ball.
Oh.
Like Charlie does in Sunny.
Yeah. Okay.
Like he's back in the crevice, like in
Yeah.
between the cushion and the fucking
Huh.
frame. Yeah, and it's just like he's just nestled in there.
Nice. That's
And
cute.
it is cute. I don't know why I brought that up,
Yeah.
but I always have a couple things for you. Pretty usual.
Cute.
Very cute.
Super cute.
To end this, I got a quick story time with Rob for you.
All right.
The second part, two-parter of the Dave Brainerd
yeah,
saga here.
Yeah.
These are great. The first, hopefully, tune in for the first part of it. It's pretty awesome.
I like
on
those stories.
the preview show, which is great. That our preview show is 21 minutes,
Oh,
and the intro of the preview show was 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So we had 9 minutes of football talk and 12-minute intro,
Yeah.
which is kind of what you're going to get here at Rob Squared. We do get into the juicy part eventually. Don't worry. Okay, so the first one here, this dates back to 3rd grade, and we had 2nd grade class together, Pearson Creek, and we got in so much trouble, and we were just like those two kids that eventually, like, we never had a class together again in elementary school because they're like, these kids cannot have a class together.
Sure,
So what we did, we coordinated a time to meet in the bathrooms. We'd make 2 trips a day. We'd find the time like 9:30 and like 1:30, and we'd meet in a certain bathroom. And for some reason, we called it a powwow. For some reason, we turned the lights off,
yeah.
get on top of the counters, and sing powwow. You want to hear the song?
Sure,
I still know it.
Yeah.
Powwow, 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 powwow. We do that twice a day, dude, for a whole year, and it was so fun to us.
Yeah.
And
I remember those in high school too.
yeah,
Those in high
we
school,
continued it on.
Yeah.
So we, for some reason, did that in elementary school. So the middle school came around. In 6th grade, obviously new school, they didn't pass that message along.
Yeah.
We not only had one class together,
Someone else's problem.
we had 2. We had it was a language arts and like history or something, like combined class. Same group of students, same teacher, 2 periods.
Yeah.
So like we'd have a little break, but so it was a lot of time.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome teacher, Miss Kane. Shout out Miss Kane. We love you. She was super hot. I believe she got married.
I was in
changed her
that
name.
class with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's gonna remember this.
Yeah.
Miss Kane. It's
This
right
was
where we
8th
met,
grade,
Cash.
though.
Was it 8th grade?
8th grade.
It was 8th grade.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, because 6th
yeah.
grade was right then. Okay.
Yeah.
So 8th grade, Miss Kane. Thanks for the correction there. Stat correction. Super hot. Love Miss Kane. She was hot, right? And cool. Miss Kane, by the way, we called her Miss Kane. She wasn't married.
Yeah.
So she was fair game. Unfortunately, we were too young.
Yeah.
We eventually like picked our own seats. Started the year. We sat next to each other. That lasted
She was a new teacher that
Yeah.
year too, so she
And-
was out of her element.
yeah, and that lasted about 2 days. Eventually, she's like, "All right." I sat front left. Dave sat back right. Literally the farthest away that we could be, right? So what we do, like, we couldn't talk. We obviously couldn't have a conversation together, and we were like heartbroken by this. So I would chuck my pencil like halfway across the room,
and crawl.
and we'd
right?
both crawl
Yeah, I
and
remember
meet
this, yeah.
in the middle of the classroom, like behind the desk, right? And she'd be writing on the blackboard window this. So we'd have like
I
30
remember.
seconds.
I have a vivid memory
And then
of
she'd
this,
turn around and like just look, and me and Dave seat are both empty. And then she'd be like, "Rob, Dave, oh!" I hold my pencil up. I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I dropped my pencil." Then Dave pops up, and I was having to find his pencil. And like, dude, somehow though we never got in trouble for this. She laughed. We
Yeah.
went back to our seats. It happened every day.
Yeah.
Love Miss Kane.
There was one time I think I know that was with Dave. I think you were there too. Like, we all got detention though for something. Like, we all had to go to her classroom afterwards and would do something. And I remember afterwards, after the detention was over, for some reason we all had Go-Gurt. We had like a Go-Gurt fight, like outside.
Okay, yeah. Go-Gurt's gross.
Yeah. It's
God, remember Go-Gurt?
you know,
That's a big thing.
yeah.
It's like nasty. I don't like yogurt anyway.
They're like,
so like
the size of like those frozen
Yeah,
popsicles
exactly,
that you eat, and then you
exactly.
just open it, you just
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good sound. But okay, this is week 9 recap here.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with Thursday night football right off the bat here. Last Thursday night, Eagles Texans. Eagles still undefeated. 29-17. Eagles take it. They don't cover though.
No.
Any thoughts about this game? Jalen Hurts doesn't rush anymore.
I don't think he needed to.
He hasn't needed to, and I have
Yeah.
actually a funny story for you. I bet his with 4 minutes left in the first half, I bet his over 21.5 or 22.5 rushing yards.
Yeah.
He had -2 at the time, so he needed 25, and he had 10 yards rushing going into the fourth quarter. Had another 5-yard rush, so he still needed whatever it was. He needed 14 yards rushing in the last drive,
Yeah.
and they needed 1 first down. It was 3rd and 15. He rushed for 14 yards. Fumbles. They get the fumble. And so I have the bet, and then it's 4th and 1, and there's like 1:50 left in the game, and the Texans have a timeout. And he scrambles, instead of punting, he scrambles for it, so he gets an extra yard, but now he's got to kneel.
Yeah.
If the Texans do take that timeout, which is a faux pas, I lose the bet because he didn't take another kneel. He ended up getting 23
Yeah.
because he didn't take the extra kneel.
Oh my god.
I was just like, how is that not like? I thought that's the easiest bet ever. How does
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts ever have a game with less than 23 yards rushing?
They're
Apparently, he's a
just,
pocket
dude,
passer.
they're just fucking clicking right
Yeah,
now.
they are.
They're swinging the biggest stick in the NFL.
Big dick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's yeah, okay. Miles Sanders, 17 carries, 93 yards and a tutty. He is the number 1 only running back in town. Someone called that. We actually had a good call. It makes up for Austin Eckler, Carlos.
Yeah. It's we would have him more like
If it wasn't for the hammy.
between the two of us, 100% everywhere. But that last month, they now we understand why they're holding him out so long
'Cause he's their guy. This is a Dallas Goedert game right here. 9 targets, 8 for 100 and a touchdown. He is a locked and loaded top 5 tight end. I put him up there with Mark Andrews when Mark Andrews healthy.
Sure.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the way he's been playing for sure.
AJ Brown back again though. 6 targets, 4 for 59 and a touchdown. Didn't need to do much obviously with the game flow here. And then Devontae Smith, 2 targets, 2 for 22.
Yeah.
He's a good player, but
Definition of boomer bust right now.
better days ahead.
He's like Gabe Davis. It's Diggs and Davis.
He's a possession
and
Gabe Davis guy,
Yep.
for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, moving on to the Texans here. Davis Mills had a decent game. 154, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, which is good for him. 154 yards.
Yeah, he got me like 13 points.
Damian Pierce is Marshawn Lynch. So he's good.
He
He
had
had
like $150, right?
27 carries, 139 yards. Love that. Breaking tackles. Receiving wise, everyone was out. Apparently, Brandon Cooks is coming back to play. He was hurt. They didn't trade him.
Yeah.
They might just drop him though, just out of like respect. The guy doesn't want
Have
to
you
play.
heard that, or you speculate?
Well, what were they going to get for him anyway? And like, why do they need him?
Yeah, I can't believe like the Packers didn't trade for him.
Yeah, 4th round pick, bro.
So how's Will Fuller still a free agent?
Yeah, I don't get that.
It's got to be a character thing.
But I mean, Josh, who's a pothead?
Gordon.
Josh Gordon kept on getting chances.
Yeah.
Does that guy have a good character?
What? It's more sympathetic because he's just smoking weed.
So what's Will Fuller's character?
Well,
Banging children?
if he's like maybe he got like in trouble for something, he may just be a bad locker room
Yeah.
guy. Where Gordon's just super chill.
I
Like,
guess.
he's smoking weed all the
So,
time.
okay, all right, moving on here. Chargers, Falcons. I actually made a last minute bet on the Chargers -2.5. I was pretty happy with that.
Probably
Although
not
I
early.
lost.
Not initially because they were down 14-0.
Yeah, not initially. And also, I lost both my props out of this game. So lessened the damage there. Justin Herbert, 30 of 43, 245, a touchdown and a pick. Only 3 yards rushing, which hurt my bet, was 8.5.
That's the type of game you would expect him to get fucking more than 8 yards.
He is
9
not the
yards
fucking same player right now. I don't know if it's because Keenan Allen's hurt and Mike Williams is hurt, but like he's had Mike Williams earlier in the year. It's just not been the same.
Yeah.
And
well, Eckler's been eating too, so
well,
I mean that's gonna. If Eckler was performing like he was in the beginning of the year, those numbers would be elevated just because he's going to be throwing what he's going to be required. But
so Eckler, 14 carries, 47 yards, a touchdown, adding in 7 for 24 and a touchdown. The yardage numbers are never good with Eckler, but he's back to
Those
scoring
receptions.
2 touchdowns a game.
Those receptions too.
He's at 11 touchdowns.
He's
the
wide
last 6
receiver
games.
1 and running back 1.
Yeah.
It's
11 touchdowns the last 6 games though.
no, it's
Like how? He's not a power back. Like
it's all the karma from us like talking all that shit. It's just the shit that
and celebrating our shit talking after 3 weeks of like,
Yeah,
oh, he's
yeah.
terrible. And I
we
still
called
don't
it,
think I still don't think he's a good player. Okay,
well, he's very capable.
he is. I just don't think he's special. But you don't have to be special in fantasy to produce. That's I guess the moral of the story, right? Be trusted and be versatile.
He's a pro.
He's a pro. I
Yeah.
get it. Isaiah Spiller, though, is the story here. He took over as the number 2 back here. Finally got he
They
played last
traded-
week.
Did they trade? No, Jackson. Kelly's on IR still, right?
Kelly's on IR, and they have Michael, and Michael's terrible. So
Yeah.
Spiller had 7 for
Good shot.
29. He has turned into the number 2 there, which makes him, I don't know what kind of handcuff he'd be based on the usage.
Yeah.
But he's on the radar now, which
Yeah.
is not.
Well-
we thought we would get in the regular season,
Well,
right?
if
Or
you
the
think,
draft
well,
season.
if you think that Eckler's the system and not the player, then he's probably the premier backup.
Well, because I do
Because-
think that.
If you think that he's just a product of the offense,
My question is, how will they use him? Will they give him those?
Yeah.
I don't know if they trust him in pass protection and catching the ball. So
well, yeah, but it's. I mean, that kind of puts more perspective on Eckler. I don't
Yeah,
think that
it
he
does.
would come in and do the same thing. Like
Right.
Eckler is.
I think he's better than Eckler.
So
I'm still
yeah,
saying it.
there you go.
Okay, Josh Palmer, my peepee. Good thing I held on to him most leagues. 10 targets, 8 for 106. No touchdowns, though. That's a nice game. He's taken over the Keenan Allen role.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Carter, 553. Until Mike Williams out for about 4 weeks. Until Keenan Allen gets back, which this is a lost season for him. Josh Palmer is a wide receiver 3, and Carter's a wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it just sucks for Herbert, because he is a back-end quarterback 1,
Well-
and a lot of people drafted him ahead of Mahomes.
Yeah, the news and all the stuff on Allen is scary. I trade for him in 2 different leagues simply because of how shitty the rest of the whole thing is. It looks like shit. So when he comes back, I think he'll as long as he's healthy, he'll eat. But,
Yeah,
but
he should.
Will he come back? I mean, it's
Better.
yeah.
Okay, Falcons, Mariota, 12 of 23, 129, no touchdowns. Tyler Algier led the way, 10 carries, 99 yards, with Patterson's triumphant return,
Yeah.
which was nice because he had 2 touchdowns. 13 for 44, 2 touchdowns. Caleb Huntley also had 7 for 34. So they just run and run and run and run. Mariota had 5 for 24 on the ground. Kyle Pitts, 7 targets. That's cool, but he had 2 for 27 on those 7 targets.
Yeah.
Wow.
So those touchdown weeks were the anomaly, not the the exception, not the rule.
And I made the bet. One of my preseason bets, we did 10 of them, was Kyle Pitts over 68.5 receptions. That's not looking good. He's on pace for like 42, and he hasn't been hurt.
Well, the thing is,
or like 50 or something, but not 68.
yeah, I mean, hopefully, he has the talent to get a streak of
6 catch game.
3 games, 3 games in a row with like 8 catches.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So I mean that's not lost.
No,
It's not
but it
looking
also requires him
great.
playing 17 games and getting hot.
How many
Like,
catches do you have right now?
It's not. It's like.
Oh,
Let's
it's
see
up,
here.
okay.
He has I have it right here. He has 23 catches. What the fuck? 8 games, dude. He's on base for 48 catches, 49 catches, which is crazy. Like those bets are all baked in injury. That's why you usually bet the under.
Yeah.
The man can play 17 games and have 50 catches. That's impossible.
Well, that's crazy because he missed a game or 2, right? So
No, he's never missed a game in his career.
I thought he missed a game earlier this
No.
year. Yeah, he missed one, dude. I know for sure he did.
Oh, okay, he did. He did. Last year he didn't.
Yeah.
Either way, come
Well,
on,
yeah.
16 games.
But I'm saying, so if he's on pace for close to 50, like that's not too and he's playing this poorly. That
Yeah.
68 seems like
Right.
easiest
Should've been
money
easy
ever.
but Drake London, 7 targets, 3 for 23. Not get my number. He is poo. It's not he's poo. It's just they don't fucking
the
throw the
all
ball.
passing offense. It's not a
Yeah,
passing
it's
offense.
not. Okay, Dolphins Bears is a fun one. It's a fun one. You called it with Justin Fields. I've been calling it with Justin Fields' talent. You called it more with the moves and like where you saw him
well,
going.
we both discussed. We both agreed that we
Yeah.
should pick him up this week.
Tua is
yeah.
killing. 21 of 30,
Yeah.
302 and 3 touchdowns. He is a fucking top 5 quarterback right now.
Yeah, you want
Like,
to talk
per game.
about a team that's swinging a big dick?
They are swinging a big dick.
Like-
Jeff Wilson
Probably
took
number
over.
one offensively, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they're when they're all healthy.
Yeah.
Jeff Wilson took over the starting job for what I saw from Mostert. Played 53% to Mostert's like 48, but more efficient. He's a better back than Mostert.
So-
we agree.
I love me some Jeff. Like,
Yeah.
I've been touting Jeff but this is what I see. Like I feel like I've seen this a few times where either in this instance they trade for a backup, but like a backup comes back from injury or something like that, and they almost see kind of what they have, right?
Yeah.
And
That
so
could
then,
be it.
So then it seems like, because I was thinking when Gus came back with Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Drake had just had like 2 games of 20-point games, and then Gus came back,
Get
and
60
I started
carries.
Drake, and he had like 6 points
Yeah.
fantasy, and then like even with Gus there, Drake still was getting a healthy amount of touches
Well,
after that.
unless you start Drake, he's going to kill it.
I think this was a test. I think Jeff is going to be a factor.
I think it's a 50-50.
Yeah, it's going to be closer than.
But
yeah.
who's getting the goal line work?
Well,
Zach
because
Wilson.
look how fluid it was in the beginning of the year with Edmonds. It was
Right.
like kind of
Right.
tipsy turvy, and
Who
then Mostert
is-
took over. But I like Wilson better than Mostert.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. So that's why they're both relegated to like RB3.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, wow, 8 targets, 7 for 143. Again, the man just has 150 yards receiving
That's
game. He
approved.
actually caught a touchdown here. I saw he only had 2 red zone targets all year somehow. I finally got one in this game, converted a touchdown because Waddle has like 6-7 touchdowns, I think. Waddle 5 for 85 and a touchdown. He is middle wide receiver 2. Would
Yeah,
you say?
I would say he's a healthy wide receiver too.
Yeah, I love him.
I was confident.
He's my 4th receiver in Ball Feet.
Pretty good.
That's fairly good. Yeah, Judy's my 5th.
Yeah, nice.
Think about that. I'm gonna whoop your ass this week.
Higgins is my 4th, so I would rather have Higgins over Waddle though.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Who's performed better?
Well, Waddle's had
Yeah,
a blow
yeah.
for sure, but Higgins is more consistent.
Gesicki
So
won.
I want the consistent. I want the basement of 12 points when I'm in the
Oh.
championship whooping your ass, where Waddle gets you 2.
Gesicki 1 catch for 3 yards. That's not good.
Yeah.
So
Real quick, I had a random thought on Tyreek Hill.
yeah,
For some reason, I just his trajectory and just kind of his attitude about how super ultra confident he is reminds me of Antonio Brown, where like he's unstoppable, scoring all these touchdowns, 1,500 yards a year, 90 to 110 catches, and then he kind of fell off. But like his ego was so big, he went
Yeah.
crazy.
you're gonna say Tyreek Hill's gonna go crazy?
I'm curious to see what the back end of his like, because he's like 28 right
Yeah,
now.
he's gonna commit a murder.
So maybe the next 3 years, like after like maybe like two more years of super stud, and then maybe falling off a little bit.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's a big contract and a bad locker room guy.
He starts whipping his dick out in hotel room pools to random girls.
Jumping out of the wire for his ass.
All right, Bears. Now, they lost 35-32 here, but this is a great game as a Bears fan because it showed us a little bit of promise. A lot of promise, actually. Justin Fields pulled a full Colin Kaepernick in this game.
Fell the ball.
17 of 28, 123 yards. Doesn't sound great, but 3 passing touchdowns. But the story is 15 carries, 178 yards, and a rushing touchdown. The man's Houdiniing it. He is like Cam Newton with speed,
Yes.
is what I see.
Yeah,
Right?
I remember watching the game.
It's unreal.
I think it was the first. It was like a 3rd and 5 or something like that, and it was like on the right side, and then just did a little juke, and then went up
And
the
then he
middle.
just- yeah.
And I was like, wow. I was watching it with Jordan, and she's like, I was like, wow, that's special. She's like, what's special? Like, there's not many people in the world that can do that.
No.
Like he's one of the only ones. And then there was a bunch of other ones. It ends up, what is that, the regular season rushing record?
Yeah. I mean, he's not like Lamar Jackson is more of a juker, right? And Kyler Murray has a quick feet.
Yeah.
Justin Fields has top speed.
Yeah.
Right? And if you get he's a fucking sports car. When you get him in the open field, you can't catch him.
Yeah.
And he's not small. He's not
No.
Russell Wilson. He's not Kyler Murray. This guy's 230 pounds.
Yeah.
And he is not gonna go down. He's not gonna slide.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe in the future when winning you should slide. But like he's a gamer, he's a badass. I love his fucking fight.
Yeah.
I've been saying it forever. I love Justin
Yeah.
Fields.
Yeah.
And this is the thing is like the whole Hurts argument. Like, Jalen Hurts is not this talented.
No.
Like no one is. He's playing with nobody
Yeah.
with a bad system, and they're finally at least calling some decent plays for him.
Well, no, it's
They're letting him play backyard football.
the
you know?
passing game's not overcomplicated. They're just letting him make plays.
Yeah,
It-
2
it's-
reads.
Yeah.
It's not there. Run.
Yeah. Like it feels like they've adjusted to him instead of trying to work him into the system.
It's genius.
And I'll say I love the addition of Claypool. I
Yeah,
think that's going to be a big deal. And this is an exciting week if you have Fields right now. He's playing Detroit.
Yeah, he could go.
Like,
he could blow up.
after these last 3, he's 110 fantasy points the last 3 weeks.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and he's pretty safe for 200 yards passing and 80 yards rushing. I feel like,
yeah,
or
I'm
220 and 60, whatever
I'm
it is.
curious to see what I was hoping they played someone like with a decent defense because I was curious what his rushing prop is going to be. I
Yeah.
haven't looked at it yet. I'm like, if it's going to be like.
It'll
80
probably
or
be
90
it'll probably be
yards.
62. Or
But
something.
I'm saying if it was 80 or 90 yards, I was like, all right, I'll
Yeah.
take the under just
Right.
just
That's a
because.
lot.
But yeah,
Okay, the running backs here. Montgomery, 36 yards on 14 carries. Herbert, 7 for 23. Neither of them had any catches. Montgomery had 1 catch. Obviously, not going to have much when your quarterback has 178 yards rushing. Montgomery's still a back end too, and Herbert's still an elite handcuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to play him.
You're not excited about either right now.
The thing is, when you think you should play Herbert, he doesn't do well. When you shouldn't play him, he plays well.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those guessing game situations.
Yeah.
Mooney 7 for 43 and a touchdown. Komet 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns.
We
in 2
picked him
games.
up, right?
Yeah, we started him in R2. What's real nice though is Komet's been playing all the snaps all year, but he's a way better player than he's shown. Now the offense, now that there's more threats, like he's going to be relevant.
Well,
like,
you can just feel watching. The game is slowed down for Fields so much.
Right.
Like so now
he's actually going to hit him when he's open.
Yeah, because it's tough to make as talented as he is. Like when you're scrambling like that, the guy in the middle of the field is the guy you're gonna. It's exciting if you. I mean,
is he a top 14 option going forward?
I think so. I mean, because he scored a touchdown in
2 games, 3 in 2 games.
Yeah, well, no, I think
he
it's
top
4.
12 option.
Does he have 4?
No, it was just
3?
3 in 2 games.
Okay.
Last week was his first one.
Okay. Try it out.
Well, I'm super happy because in best ball I have him everywhere, and I was writing that off as an L.
Yeah.
And now Njoku's out, it's like Komet's picking it up, and then I get Njoku back, and like because Noah Fant's been a big dud. Anyway, Claypool.
No, I'd say he's a top 14.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. With like more upside than some of these other guys, like Gesicki, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, this is offense right now. You almost want to be a part of the Bears.
You
offense.
do. It's crazy to say. Claypool 6 targets, 2 for 13. Played a certain, I don't know what it was, 40% or whatever the snaps, but he'll be fine. I think this is only better than what he was in the Steelers, right? Mm-hmm. Especially with with the confidence.
I think he'll get some chances.
All right, Bengals Panthers Joe Mixon game 42-21. Bengals whooped their ass. It was not even this close. It was like 35-0. Baker Mayfield, P.J. Walker had the worst start in the history of starts. 3 for 10, 9 yards, and 2 picks. When you have 2 picks and 3 completions.
That's what I was talking about. I was like, with the DJ Moore thing, I'm like, there's no fucking way this is continuing.
So Baker, 14-20, 155 and 2 touchdowns, and they already named P.J. Walker the starter. So, like, obviously they hate Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Deontay Foreman coming off a 3-touchdown game, 7 carries, 23 yards, no touchdowns.
Without Chuba again.
Yeah.
Chuba's back now.
Well, Terrence Marshall, though, garbage time touchdown, 6 targets, 353 and a touchdown. Started him in about 4 leagues.
Oh, nice.
I have him in best ball everywhere. I love Terrence Marshall. He's good. He looks real good. Thank you, man. DJ Moore, 6 targets, 2 for 24. This is about right.
He'll always get 6 plus
better.
targets, but
yeah.
I mean that either those 6 targets are going to be either way. Yeah,
it's not great. Okay, Bengals Joe Burrow 22 of 28, 206 and a touchdown. Added in a rushing touchdown and 9 yards, so he had a decent day. They didn't need him because Joe Mixon had 22 carries, 153 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Also had a nifty ass receiving touchdown. Great. He had 458 through the air. Remember I told you one of my bets I wanted to do Joe Mixon rushing and receiving?
Yeah.
Didn't have it up.
Oh, yeah.
He had 20. His prop was 22 rushing and 62 or 67 rushing. I was just waiting to get to 85.
Yeah.
I guess I should have bet him to score 3 touchdowns. But, I was going to bet it. I didn't bet it. I'm pissed because he ended up having 200 yards total. I knew he would do it. Especially with, Chase out.
Yeah.
Mixon's great. Finally, this is the game we've been waiting for Mixon.
Yeah.
Samaje Perine, 6 carries, 51 yards. Like that a lot. Higgins, 7 for 60. Boyd, 5 for 44. Boyd had a touchdown. I can't believe they overturned that one. I don't know if you saw that.
I remember hearing him. I didn't look.
On the sideline, so he was 3 yards in the end zone. He came back to the ball and caught it.
Oh,
yeah. Bro, they called it not, but they reviewed it forever. It was totally a touchdown. He gained possession 5 inches, a cock's length away in the end zone. And, sorry about that. Hayden Hurst, 5 for 35, though. It's pretty cool. So, that's the Bengals for you. We'll move on. Packers-Lions. Aaron Rodgers sucks dick. Speaking of 5 inches, he wants more. 23 of 43 for 291, a touchdown, 3 picks. Gross. He did add in 40 yards rushing in this game. That's the problem. I should have bet. Aaron Jones got hurt in this game, said he could have came back, but they're a dumpster fire right now. This is trash. There's really nothing to really even talk about. Lazard, 10 targets, 4 for 87 and a touchdown. Yeah. Jay DeGuara, 5 for 41. Look at these guys throwing to S Tour. Who is it? Who are these guys? Watson, Tunyon.
Is Watkins hurt again, or he's not playing?
He's playing. He had 5 targets, 1 for 9 yards. 1 pitch for 9 yards. That's bad, dude. Yeah. Bakhtiari got a target. That pick he threw to Bakhtiari. Dude, just underthrew it. This is terrible. Yeah. And they're 1 loss away from pretty much being out of it.
So not winning the division.
No. Okay, Jared Goff, 14-26, 137, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Very, very pedestrian right there. Jamal Williams, 24 carries and 81 yards, like that. Justin Jackson, 4 for 27. I don't like that. I don't like that. Don't stop taking away from these guys. Swift played 16% of the snaps.
Yeah. Supposed to get more now.
2 carries, 10 yards, and 3 for 40 through the air. Actually caught a ball on the 1 yard line.
If he's not, like, why even put him up?
Yeah, what are they doing?
Like, if he's not healthy, like, why?
Play him or don't. I mean,
there must be like some bonus that they want to make sure he gets. You know, like playing time or game play or something like that.
But it's a shoulder, right?
I think
and
so.
an ankle and a fucking knee. He's made of glass.
Same thing every
man.
fucking year.
St. Brown, 9 targets, 455. Love the volume, but I mean, he's just not. It's not an attractive option when they're just a run first team.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get more shootouts going forward because their defense is not going to hold teams. They're not going to play Green Bay's decrepit wide receiver core and hold them to 9 points because they have a terrible defense. That's the problem. Is that the Green Bay scored 9 points against this defense.
Yes.
The Seattle scores 40 points against the defense of Geno Smith. So, wow. Okay, next game here. Colts, Patriots. This is a stinker of fucking stinkers. 26-3 Patriots fucking rape their ass, dude.
Yeah.
That butt is sore as shit. Ellinger is terrible. How many yards? Okay, Ellinger had 29 passing attempts.
Yeah.
How many yards do you think he had?
I'm trying to remember. I remember he started out. He didn't have anything in like the first quarter.
They had 0 yards. What do you think he had for the game? 29 passing attempts. How many yards? In a game they lost by 23. 103. That is 3.6 yards per attempt. That is bad for a fullback. That is bad for a running back. That is bad for anyone.
Yeah.
He got sacked 9 times. Well, maybe it wasn't all Matt Ryan. He did have 39 yards rushing.
He's still the starter though.
So a good thing I didn't bet that Pittman bet because he had 6 targets, 3 for 22. Wow. Pierce had 1 for 23. Paris Campbell. Okay, we can move on from the Colts, right?
Yeah.
Get Wild Jonathan Taylor, and they're trash.
The running backs can do shit.
Their O-line's terrible. I thought it was an all-pro O-line. What happened? Like, how things can change in 1 year, right?
Yeah, suddenly Matt Ryan's not looking so bad.
No. Okay, Mac Jones, 20-30, 147, and a touchdown. I can't evaluate on this game because it was easy pickings.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that Bailey Zappi's better. That's just me. Stevenson, 15 for 60. That's a disappointing game for him. He did add in a receiving touchdown on 7 targets, 3 for 10 yards. He should have 8 in this game, right?
Yeah.
Given the game flow and that terrible team. But I mean, he's
just never. Yeah,
he's the number one. Like even when your guy comes back, he's taking the reins, right?
Yeah. Well, Harris. I mean, there's going to be Harris games. Like Harris is. I still think will be the goal line guy. He might even be the clock killer. Honestly, he might be like the fourth quarter. So
in the game like this,
you hate that. Like as a fantasy guy, where
you're relying on bullshit.
Like you might not see your guy for the whole fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. Like, no, but Stevenson's a borderline RB1. Even Harris Bass, man.
I would say I would consider him easily the RB2. I'm not trying to boo on him. He's been playing like an RB1. I think Harris significantly hampers that. I think it drops him.
He does because Harris is a good player.
A full 10, 12 spot, you know.
Jacoby Myers, 6 targets, 5 for 42. Hunter Henry, 4 for 50. Johnny Smith, 3 for 21. Can we pound that? All right, we'll move on because this game is real bad. No one likes this game. Bills. This is an interesting one. 20-17. Jets take it at home. They were 11-point dogs, I believe. Josh Allen had a bad game. 18 for 34, 205, and 2 picks. No touchdowns. Did add in 2 rushing touchdowns, so 9 carries for 86 yards. That's what he does. He's amazing. Singletary, 8 for 24. Cook, 4 for 15. McKenzie, 1 for 9. Nothing on the rushing end there. Diggs, 5 for 93. Had a big catch, 42-yarder on the first drive, one of the first plays. Sauce Gardner's a real deal, though.
Yeah.
That guy's getting picks. He's not only is he like shut down corner, he's making plays.
Yeah.
And that's a unicorn, right? Like you see these guys like Jarrell Revis and like Ramsey.
Well, that'll change because he's still getting challenged right now.
Right. I'm saying, but he's doing both, and that's impressive
Yep.
for a young guy. He's not a very imposing specimen, right? He's a small guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's living up to the draft.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like
it
was
impressive.
The Jets fans didn't like that. They never like the picks, right? Because it's the Jets. They want to scream. They want to have. Who was the guy? The fireman guy. Fireman Mike or whatever. The big fan, the super fan that wears the screams in the megaphone. That guy just hates every pick because he's a Jets fan. They've never had any good picks, so he just reacting to the fact that they probably fucked it up.
Yeah. Because
if you react like that, 9 out of 10 times you're right.
Yeah.
And this time it's like, a cornerback?
Yeah.
When he wasn't even, like, it was supposed to be Stingley was supposed to be the better guy. I don't know if Sauce was the number 1 guy. It was like 1A, 1B. And they took 1B first, which turned out to be 1A.
Sure.
But the position isn't sexy, right? It's not like...
Well, I mean,
it's not supposed to be.
I mean, look at the division.
Right,
You're
right.
going against the Diggs, the Tyreek Hill, Jalen. You want a guy that can shut those
But
guys down.
traditionally nowadays it's left tackle, and it is like edge rusher. Are the
Yeah.
only other two positions
Besides quarterback.
quarterback and maybe wide receiver.
Well, so corner.
You know?
So
Yeah.
right now, like that's-
But it's rare for a corner because it's also system based. Like if you put your good corner in a shit system and don't use him properly,
Yeah.
he fizzles out.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's also like hard to gauge these guys because even if you're like a pretty good corner in college, you're facing lower talent and bad quarterback play.
Sure.
How can you judge how good this cornerback is?
yeah, I
You know
guess.
what I mean?
Yeah, guys that. Yeah.
If you had 7 picks, what does that mean? You might have had me throwing the ball to this guy and like, I'm going to underthrow it, Caps.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Gabe Davis, another bad stinker. 5 targets, 2 for 33. That's not good. Dawson Knox, Jesus Christ, 3 for 25. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about that. So let's go on to the Jets here. The Cougar Hunters, Zach Wilson. He was not Cougar hunting this game. He was playing football. 154 and a touchdown. Not too bad. 18 to 25. I like that. Adding in 7 yards rushing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now the running backs we need to talk about here because Robinson came in the game questionable. Played. Michael Carter was the lead back. They both got 12 and 13 carries respectively. 76 yards for Carter, and he got the touchdown. Robinson at 48, but that's a 50-50 timeshare. Who do you want?
I've always liked James Robinson.
Same.
The fact that he went out and got him,
Mhm.
it kind of is encouraging. It's, I mean, neither of them really.
But if you had to choose going forward, who do you want as your RB2 in a deep league?
James Robinson.
Yeah? Okay. I want Carter, just because I think he's a better pass catcher.
Sure.
But I feel like Robinson Smart could have the goal line work, even though we've seen Michael Carter pillage goal line carries.
I think Robinson's just like Eckler. He's just the pro. Where Carter's
Right.
still young, and,
Right.
and it's now that they're winning games like this, you want to make sure there's no fumbles. You want to make sure like even if he's getting 1 or 2 yards, you don't want like Carter trying to bounce it out.
Yeah.
We know what I'm saying. Where James Robinson knows to
Right.
hit the hole. Where they're both young.
Garrett Wilson, 9 targets, 8 for 92. It's really nice. Nobody else. Uzama apparently has overtaken Conklin. That tight end, you don't want to guess the tight end group. You don't want to guess any of these passing options. It's like the Giants.
Well,
I mean,
Garrett
nothing.
Wilson without more, but like
Yeah, we like Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Someone called that early on. I didn't take him too much fancy though. So Vikings 20, Redskins, whatever you want to call them, Commanders, the Fighting Schneiders, whatever. 20-17, Vikings take it. Barely. It was a crazy game. The typical Washington game. Vikings had the game. Fucking Heineke battles back. And then this time, of course, the other team comes back and wins because they're the better team. Cousins 22 of 40 for 265, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Dalvin Cook has been struggling, man. 17 for 47. No touchdowns. What the fuck? Justin Jefferson, typical JJ game here. 13 targets, 7 for 115 and a touchdown. That man is really good at football and really weird looking.
yes,
Braces. He's like a fucking Ninja
it
Turtle,
looks
dude.
like a skeleton kind of.
So weird. Hawkinson, nice first game. 9 targets, 9 catches, 70 yards. Like that a lot. He is locked and loaded tight end 1. I like this even better than his other situation because he's got no one fucking focus on him.
Yeah.
Thielen got hurt again, but it came back. This is the Thielen experience. Just
It's
you get
Anthony-
knocked out.
Anthony Davis, yeah.
Yeah, lay down, you come back. Osborne, there's really nothing else here. Commanders, Heineke, 15 to 28, 149, 2 tutties and a pick. Did add in 17 yards on the ground, though. He is feisty. He runs. Brian Robinson led the way, 13 to 44. Gibson, a disappointing game for those that have started him because of his recent performance.
Yeah. A couple of good weeks back there.
A couple of really good weeks of catches and touchdowns.
Yep.
11 for 36 in this game. He only added in 2 for 11 through the air. So the receivers, I love Terry McLaurin right now because he had 9 targets. He had 9 of 28.
So you're loving the trade you just did, huh? You got McLaurin and Hawkinson.
I don't care about that league anymore. So.
But either way,
Yeah, I do.
You just
because
acquired
McLaurin-
the 2 guys that you're
Yeah,
loving
I
in this
do.
game. Yeah.
9 targets, 5 for 56. Now that doesn't look sexy, but he is consistently scoring 10 or 12 points.
You
in
love him with
half
Heineke.
PPR.
Gotta love
Love
him
it.
with Heineke.
Yeah. Samuel had the touchdown, 3 for 65, a long touchdown. That wasn't a touchdown. I don't know how they called that a touchdown. He got fell down on the 3, was touched.
Oh,
got
yeah,
touched
yeah.
again.
Dude, did
And
you
then
see
it's
how
like-
he chucked that? Like,
Oh yeah,
it looked like
Brett
a little
Favre. That was
kid.
Brett
Yeah,
Favre.
just
I
like
mean,
like he is so much
Got
momentum. He was
smashed,
facing
too.
down when he let go of that.
got
ball.
smashed too.
Yeah.
I like Heineke. He's a fun player to watch.
Yeah. Well, so is Wentz? Does he have the job when he comes back?
No.
Yeah.
Fuck no, dude. They're competitive. They would have been 5-4 if they won this game.
Yeah.
They should have won this game.
Yeah.
Okay, Raiders, Jaguars. Your Raiders. This is you're gonna do a eulogy. What are you gonna do here?
Yeah, it's already. I mean, last week when they got shut out, I kind of gave up.
But
That-
this was a game.
like I had Carr so many places.
I know.
I someone that I really didn't have much faith in. I don't know. Either way, I dropped Carr. I'm willing to move on from him. Same with the Cardinals.
Okay.
They're just either both of them are.
Carr 21 of 36, 259, 2 touchdowns. Nice game for fantasy. Jacob 17 carries, 67 yards. Has not been like it was for that 3-week stretch, which I think was more of an outlier than people wanted to believe.
Yeah.
He's still solid. Though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting all the work.
But the offense is that they're playing for a half or even or 2 weeks ago they didn't play at all. But they played for the first half this game.
How many targets do you think Devontae Adams had?
Probably the same amount he's going to get every game this year now. 14.
17.
17.
10 catches, 146, 2 touchdowns. Easiest bet I ever made. Should have put more on it. Foster Moreau was second on the team in receiving. That's not a good sign. 2 for 42. Darren Waller apparently is never playing football again. He's doing the Ben Simmons and or Michael Thomas. Hunter Renfrow dropped 3 for 26. Matt Collins only 2 for 17. I thought he'd be better this week.
Yeah, no, the whole.
You just got no comment. Just
Well, it's
sad.
Being up 17-0.
How do you lose?
They're up 20-3 against the fucking Cards.
Terrible. Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, 25 of 31, 235 and a touchdown. Very good game from him, especially in the comeback effort when you have to make those plays. He made those plays.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne, though, is the story. 28 carries, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns. One of them on the Wildcat, I believe.
Good Lord.
Lawrence had 53 yards rushing. Should have bet that prop again.
Yeah.
But Etienne, man, this is Derrick Henry shit.
And Hasty fumbled too. So,
this is Etienne. I just hope they don't run him too much because he'll get hurt. He's too small. Christian Kirk, though, is back. 9 targets, 8 for 76 and a touchdown. Looks real good. He had 2 drives in a row where he had like 3 catches in each drive. He's back. This is what I expected the whole time. I don't know what was going on before.
Well, the whole team was. They were on like a 3.
But if you notice, they've had 3 wins this year, right? The first 2 weeks, especially, Christian Kirk killed. The third week he killed, and they barely lost. And this week he killed, they win.
Yeah.
Get the best player on your offense involved.
Yep.
And when they didn't get him involved, they lost every goddamn game.
Yeah.
Because they're throwing to Marvin Jones and Zay Jones. They're throwing to the Joneses.
Getting cute with it.
All right, stop getting cute. Really nothing else to talk about here. Really disappointing was Evan Ingram, 1 catch for 8 yards. He's been kind of killing it recently. But I like the Jags going forward. I like their offense to get better. You know, they're
probably still in contention for the division, right?
They are, but I don't think they have any big aspirations going forward to like do anything crazy. It's a I can't talk. Sorry, it's a like a project year for them. They got to see what they have with ETN, with Lawrence. With
disagree because the Colts are trash, Texans are trash, and the Titans are they're 2 games back now, but Titans are banged up and not.
They are banged up.
Great.
Okay, another one of your teams here, Cardinals. 31-21, Seahawks destroy the Cardinals. Geno Smith better than Kyler Murray. Who would have thought? Geno Smith's balling, dude. 26 of 34, 275, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Wow. Also adding in 38 yards rushing. The guy's fucking running.
That's like a few weeks in a row now.
Dude, he's good, man. Yep. Kenneth Walker, 26 carries, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Number 2 scoring
Probably
offense.
shouldn't have traded that guy. Kenneth Walker's a running back 1.
Yeah.
You know, on Balls Deep, I have Walker and ETN.
Sure.
And all those receivers.
Yeah.
And I watched Devontae Williams.
All right.
How do I have 2 RB1s, though?
You want to bet on it this week?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it after.
All right, we will. Okay. Travis Homer, 1 carry, 7 yards. That's pretty cool. Okay, Noah Fant, 5 for 96. And Noah Fant sighting. Tyler Lockett, 5 for 67 and a touchdown. DK Metbull, 6 targets, 5 catches, 37 yards and a touchdown. Don't like the yardage, but I'm running both my preseason bats from Metcalf. It was 68 catches, and it was 7.5 touchdowns.
Nice.
6.5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He has 4.
The biggest prop one I did is Kirk.
Yeah, I did the 68 catches for Kirk, 69 catches for Kirk.
I did the 850 with him too.
We're gonna get both those for sure. Okay, Cardinals wise, Kyler Murray, 25 of 35, 175 and 2 touchdowns. Touchdowns are nice, but that is 5 yards an attempt. That's not gonna get it done. Did add in 60 yards on the ground. That's pretty cool. James Conner came back, 7 for 45. Had a couple of really nice catches, though. Some tough runs. That's what he does. Yeah, he's just a
Connor's
guy.
Good, yeah.
He's just a guy.
I like Conner.
Rondell Moore, 10 targets, 8 for 69. You won your prop bet on that one. That's pretty cool. Like that. Zach Ertz, 5 for 40. DeAndre Hopkins had a stinker, but he did catch a touchdown. 5 targets, 4 for 36 and a touchdown. If this is your basement, though, in fantasy, I like that basement.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I can't believe he didn't have more, though, than 5 targets in this game.
Yeah.
But apparently that rookie corner they have in Seattle is amazing. He won the Defensive Player of the Month.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good.
Yeah.
It was like a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw comparisons, like memes of him getting compared to Richard Sherman.
He's good. I like that. Okay, Rams Seahawks. This game sucked. This was terrible. Should have bet the under on this game.
Bucks.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I said Seahawks. Whoops. Rams, Bucks. Bucks 16, Rams 13. Should bet the under in this one because these quarterbacks can't move. This is terrible. They have good pass rushes. Matt
Bad
Stafford,
offensive lines,
13 for 27 and a $165 and a touchdown. No picks. Like, what are you doing? Henderson
Are you still starting
actually.
him in any leagues?
Me?
Stafford?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, balls deep. I have Lawrence too, so I just thought this was a better matchup.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, I wasn't trying to call you
anymore.
out.
Yeah,
I was
not
just
anymore.
curious because I felt like he's been off the radar for so long.
It's still Matt Stafford, and I expect the games where he has 350 yards passing, and just because they're not running the ball,
Yeah.
they're just not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I trust in Sean McVay, but apparently they're scoring 13 points every week.
Maybe that elbow, man. It's no one's talking about, it, but like
I
I bet you at the end of the
more
year, like Stafford has to have
Right.
surgery.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah.
Henderson, of course, when Akers comes back, Henderson has a better game. And last week it was just Henderson.
Yeah.
He was getting stolen carries from Ronnie
For
Rivers
like
and Malcolm Brown.
3 weeks. it
Yeah,
was.
12 for 56 for
Henderson was
Henderson. Akers came back with 5 carries for 3 yards. Your best bet ever under 7.5 touchdowns.
yeah.
He doesn't have a single touchdown.
Nice.
Never going to have a touchdown ever again in his career.
Yeah.
You could have bet that for his career, and I bet it hits. I'm serious,
Yeah,
dude.
Maybe.
Cooper Kupp, 9 targets, 8 for 127 and a touchdown. But I made the comment, and he just traded for him. I watched this at least the second half of the game, and I made, I get super pissed about coaches giving their players in when the game's over.
Mm-hmm.
And last week's game, not this game, but the week before, they threw a bubble screen to him down 3 scores with 2 minutes left in the game, and he got his ankle rolled up on. Don't do that, coaches. That's terrible.
Yeah.
McVay even acknowledged it was stupid.
Yeah.
He is hurt.
Yeah.
He's not injured. He's hurt, and he's gonna be hurt the rest of the year. And he is a badass. We know Cooper Kupp is an Iron Man. Even on his long touchdown, and he's hobbling, dude. It's not limping,
Yeah.
but I can tell the
He gets a
difference.
little
I can tell it.
giddy up.
I can just tell it, man. He
Little
doesn't have the
giddy
same
up
thing,
and
and
stuff,
he's
yeah.
good enough. 80% of Cooper Kupp is still 120% of the next guy.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to admit that as we weren't Kupp guys.
Sure.
He is a warrior. He's good. He's gonna get the targets. Gonna get the catches. He's gonna get schemed open, but
He's the only guy.
the worry is if they lose 3 more games in a row, he can get shut down.
Sure.
Because why are you playing Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
Oh, the thing is, you actually don't have any draft picks
Yeah.
if you're the Rams. So, like, why are you trying to lose? Like, trying
Yeah.
to sneak into the playoffs.
True.
Did you hear the offer they offered for Brian Burns?
It was like 2 first-round picks.
And a second.
Yeah.
That's why I'm pissed about the Roquan trade. Because I'm not saying Roquan's as valuable as Burns, but they legitimately turned down 2 firsts and a second from a dying franchise.
Yeah.
And we took a second and a fifth for Roquan.
Yeah.
2 firsts and a second?
Maybe we didn't want to trade him in conference.
I'm just saying, like, why did the fucking Panthers turn that down? Rebuild your team, man.
Yeah.
By the time that they're relevant in probably 3 years, I know it's the NFL, it could be 2 years or 1 year, Brian Burns will be 27 years old.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I
we
mean,
saw what happened with Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Like, take the fucking draft capital. I don't get that.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
yeah.
silly. That's a bad move.
There's just a PP. He's a
Burn,
BB's
yeah,
a PP.
Yeah, he is. Allen Robinson, 3 for 20. There's nothing else. Look at these receiving numbers. We have Kupp, 8 for 27. Allen Robinson, 3 for 24. Malcolm Brown, 1 for 10. And Powell, 1 for 4. Nobody else had a catch.
Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson had 5 targets. He had the
Okay.
worst drop ever.
Yeah, I
He
saw
had a
that.
35-yard catch.
Yeah. 'Cause I started him twice in my 20-man league. He's got me 0 points.
Yeah,
0
he'll be
points.
fine. He'll be fine.
Well,
All right.
he
Sunday,
gets a catch.
Sunday Night Football. Chiefs Titans. This game was wacky and wild. Malik Willis, my guy, had 5 completions in 16 attempts for 80 yards. Henry, 17 for 115 and 2 touchdowns. That guy's really good at football. Willis had 40 yards rushing, though. Their receiving numbers, I'm not going to go through them because Robert Woods has 0 catches. Okongwu, I don't know who that is, had a 48-yard catch. Hooper, I know who he is. He's terrible, 2 for 34. And Hassan Haskins had a 2-yard catch. That's it. There's 5 completions in this game. That's a high school football game. It's not an NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they went to overtime.
Yeah. And that's,
On the contrary, this is the best game ever. So it was 20-17, right? Malik Willis completed 5 passes. Patrick Mahomes completed 43 passes. And it was a 3-point game. 68 attempts.
how about that for coaching for Tennessee?
They're that good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's great. So 43 of 68, 446, a touchdown and a pick for Mahomes. Also, it's 63 yards rushing and a touchdown. And I don't know how they didn't blow him out.
Yeah.
Edwards-Helaire had 4 carries for 5 yards. Pacheco had 5 carries for 5 yards. McKinnon had 3 carries for 4 yards.
Yeah. Well, what happened is CEH has disappeared.
He's terrible. Kelsey, 17 targets, 10 for 106. Juju, 12 targets, 10 for 88. Like that a lot. Juju is in the wide receiver 2/3 mix for me.
For sure.
Those
I'll
are
say
the 2
for
guys,
sure.
right?
2 for sure.
Hardman, 6 for 79, had the touchdown. And then they got Valdez-Scantling played every snap, had 1 target, 1 for 12. He's just out there doing cardio, pretty much. Tony got involved, 2 for 12, but it's really just those 2 guys, and then everyone else is a boomer bust, right? Hardman's been nice, but like
I guess that's what $10 million gets you in the wide receiver market now.
I guess that's what it gets you. Okay, Monday Night Football. Ravens 27, Saints 13. Lamar Jackson 12 to 22, 133 and a touchdown. Kenyon Drake 24 rushes, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Fucker.
Of course, Lamar Jackson did 82 yards on the ground there. Likely had 5. This is the Likely game. I picked him up everywhere. I was like, he still had a touchdown, but 5 targets, 1 for 24 and a touchdown.
Love it.
I mean, but how are you gonna have 24 yards?
Yeah.
They weren't throwing, but I mean, better days ahead. If Andrews will be back though, because they have a bye.
It feels like Likely is they realize what they have in him.
Yeah, he should be starting a wide receiver for that team because they don't have any wide receivers.
Yeah. Well, they're a run team. I mean, they'll have 2 tight ends all the time.
I really wish this was just Dobbins, right? Because like you see what Kenyon Drake's doing with these carries, like Dobbins is better. I don't care what you want to say about Dobbins, he's better than Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
And Drake's scoring 2 touchdowns, catching passes. It really hurts my soul.
When Gus is there, he's scoring 2 touchdowns.
Fucking pissing me off, dude. Okay, Andy Dalton, 19 to 29, 210, touchdown and a pick. Taysom Hill had a completion for 13 yards, only had 1 rush for 6 yards in this game. Lost me a fucking same game parlay. 19 yards rushing I need from Taysom Hill. I won the other 7.
Oh.
I'm like, I feel like that was easy. Like Taysom Hill,
Yeah.
when he's going well, he has 90 yards rushing.
Yeah.
And he firing off a 50-yard rush. And like, I was like, just put him in the game. He finally gets in there as a 6-yard rush, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, 9 targets, 6 for 71. That's Michael Thomas numbers. Pretty nice. He's the number 1 there. He's the only guy in town. Did Jarvis?
No, he
didn't play.
He was
Okay.
game time.
Kamara. So Kamara had 9 carries, 30 yards, adding in 3 for 32 through the air.
They were just getting their ass kicked.
Yeah. Well, the Ravens are a real team,
Yes.
unlike your Raiders.
That's right.
The Ravens. Do you think they're Super Bowl contenders?
I think they have been all year. I mean, it's
Right. Well, they've had those rough losses, but like they play like it's a similar like what Atlanta does, right? Like the reason Atlanta's successful with what they have is there's no other team in the league that plays like Atlanta. No one else runs 2 fullbacks or 3 tight ends and has a mobile quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like they muck up the game so much that like you can't practice for that outside of that week because the other 29 teams are not doing it. So when you get to face a team like Baltimore and you get to face a team like Atlanta, it's like culture shock. It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
So they catch you by surprise, in a way. And obviously, you can't practice for Lamar Jackson's speed.
Yeah, and the coaching's there. I mean, they've all
Best kicker in the league, which honestly for me matters a lot.
Yeah, how many games come down? I mean, playoff games come down to a field
And
goal.
when you can trust your kicker to kick a 57
If
yards.
Allen's hurt, that leaves pretty much the Chiefs in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Like who else is?
Well, there's no one in the NFC. There's just no one in football right now. They're all bad. Every team's flawed.
Yeah.
Well, you have the teams like the Jets and the Dolphins and these other teams, right?
I get it. I'm just
are
saying,
they
like,
real? Like,
to be you have to get to the Super Bowl to be like a contender to win it. And if Allen's, I mean, if they can get past the Chiefs, like it seems like that's the only hurdle right now.
Would you agree the Ravens are more viable than the other teams that are successful right now, like the Dolphins and the Jets? You know what I'm saying? Or the Bengals.
I don't know. Maybe it's going to be when the Dolphins are clicking. It's going to be tough.
Those are
You're going to have to put up 40 points.
Yeah.
I mean, and their defense is, I mean, does enough.
But we did see, the end of the game was different with the Ravens and the Dolphins. But remember how they were shutting them out?
Yeah. No, I don't. But still, they still end up losing because
playoff football is different though.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? Like you go into Baltimore. You think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to do that?
If you're asking me if I think they're the favorites, no, I don't.
No.
I think it's like, but
they're not talked about like the other teams though.
Sure they are.
No,
they're respected.
Yeah, but not like the other team. Like the thing is, they're not flashy, right?
Yeah.
Like the Bills are the best.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are always there, right? And you got the fucking Eagles, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think the Ravens are just as good as the Eagles, if you ask me.
Right. I mean, I would take.
It's nice to have AJ Brown.
Neutral field, I would still take the Eagles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But one team's 8-0 and on a pedestal. One team is like under the radar. Right?
I would take Miami over Baltimore.
Wow, this guy loves Miami.
Well, no, I think offensively, the Ravens are nowhere near Miami. Right. It's an offensive league. Like I'll take the team that is probably going to average over 30
You're
points.
You're going to take Tua over Lamar though?
That's not. Because Tua's throwing, like he'll have better not rushing stats, but
because
like
his weapons.
Yeah, it seems like Miami's ascending where Baltimore, like even earlier in the season, they're kind of holding on to games, like or losing them. But you know, we'll have to see. I mean, come playoff time, Lamar is such an X factor. But right now, I'll take Miami.
Okay. All right. That's week 9 recap for you guys. It was shorter this week because there were 16 gone by.
Yeah.
And let's see. We're going to come actually tomorrow. We're going to be releasing, a day after this video drops, our Rob's ranks for top handcuffs.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that everyone cleans their couch. Rob Square.
And it's been a complete joy.